Number 12, the space flatulence crisis. You know what doesn't mix well? Human digestion and zero gravity. If you thought farts were just a mildly funny side effect of Taco Tuesday, wait until your butt is floating in space. Here's the deal. In space, gas doesn't rise, because there's no up in zero gravity. So those delightful air pockets that usually sneakily exit your body now just hang out. Inside you. Like uninvited dinner guests who refuse to leave. Astronauts have literally reported feeling bloated, gassy, and miserable, basically a human balloon animal, for hours because their intestines are holding a pressure cooker party with no release valve. But wait, it gets worse. The air inside spacecraft is recycled, so every time someone lets one rip, that air just stays, floating, circulating, getting pulled into vents. NASA has filters, sure, but no filter is strong enough to erase the olfactory war crimes committed after 3 servings of freeze-dried chili mac. Your brain, meanwhile, is trying to keep you sane while your stomach inflates like a pool toy and your nostrils suffer biochemical warfare. Welcome to outer space, where even farting becomes a psychological endurance test. Basically, space travel turns your gut into a sadistic balloon animal workshop, without the fun shapes. Number 11. The gravity deception. Gravity is like your clingy ex. You never appreciated it until it was gone, and now everything feels weird and unsupported. Your body is designed to deal with gravity. Your blood, your bones, your inner ear, all of it assumes you're being pulled downward at all times like a reluctant child toward responsibility. But in microgravity, that pull disappears. Your brain gets confused, your organs float, your spine stretches, your blood moves toward your head like it's trying to start a new life there. The result? Puffy face syndrome and chicken leg syndrome. Real medical terms. Okay, not official ones, but they might as well be. Your head looks like it's storing water for the winter, and your legs start to look like they belong to a cartoon ostrich. Even worse, your inner ear, the part that controls balance, has a meltdown. Without gravity, it's like someone took the GPS out of your brain and replaced it with a dizzy hamster, so you feel disoriented, nauseated, and occasionally like you're upside down even when you're not. In other words, space breaks your sense of direction, turns your limbs into mismatched parts, and makes your head look like it lost a bet. Number 10. Your bones will mutiny. You know those lovely bones holding your body together? Yeah, they signed a resignation letter the moment you left Earth. Bones are smart. Lazy, but smart. On Earth, they work hard resisting gravity and keeping you from collapsing like a puppet with cut strings. But in space, there's no gravity, no resistance, no point. So your bones go, cool, I'll just dissolve now. Astronauts can lose up to 1% to 2% of their bone mass per month, not year, month. That's like having osteoporosis speedrun mode turned on. Your bones literally get weaker the longer you float around like a majestic, slowly deteriorating snowflake. And here's the fun part, you don't feel it. There's no ache, no warning, just the gentle knowledge that your skeleton is checking out early while you float around trying to remember what gravity felt like. Coming back to Earth becomes a slap in the face and pelvis. Your body suddenly has to deal with weight again, and your bones are like, you want us to do what now? Cue exhaustion, injury risk, and the need to retrain your skeleton like it's a rebellious teenager. Basically, your bones go full ghost mode the moment gravity stops texting back. Number 9. The where are my feet phenomenon. Imagine this, you wake up, you look down, and your feet are just conceptually absent, not gone, but not there either. This is real. Astronauts in microgravity sometimes forget they even have legs, because they're not using them. No walking, no standing, just floating. Your brain, being the over-efficient weirdo it is, starts trimming unused data. Oh, you don't need legs for floating? Cool. I'll just delete that input. The result? A dissociative, slightly horrifying feeling that your lower half is emotionally and sensorially divorced from your upper half. You're a floating meat balloon, piloted by vibes and vague memories of having knees. And don't even try walking when you come back down to Earth. Your brain has to relearn how to tell your legs what to do. People wobble like drunken penguins, stumble like toddlers, and feel like they just came out of a particularly abusive roller coaster. So yeah, space can literally make you forget you have feet. Let that sink in, preferably with gravity still on. Number 8. Cosmic isolation meltdown. Imagine being stuck in a tin can with the same 5 people, for months. No fresh air, no sunlight, no Uber Eats, no polite excuse to leave a conversation. Just the same recycled air, recycled small talk, and recycled arguments about who forgot to Velcro the protein bars again. This is cosmic isolation. And your brain? It doesn't love it. Humans evolved in tribes, in forests, with unpredictable stimuli and way more elbow room. Space offers none of that. Studies show astronauts can suffer from mood swings, depression, and sensory monotony, which is a fancy way of saying everything is so boring, it's practically aggressive. One astronaut described the smell inside the ISS as a mix of antiseptic, body odor, and burnt metal. That's your new fresh outdoors. You also can't escape anyone. Every weird habit your crewmates have. That's your new reality. Mouth breathers, foot tappers, people who chew like cows, there's no mute button. Psychologically, this is like living inside a group project that never ends. Add in the knowledge that Earth is just a tiny dot out the window and you've got a slow-boil existential crisis with a side of cabin fever. Basically, space turns your social life into a high-stakes episode of Survivor, except you can't vote anyone off the spacecraft. Number 7. The space-time brain warp. Let's talk about time, or rather, the complete annihilation of your sense of it. In space, day and night are suggestions, not facts. On the International Space Station, you orbit the Earth every 90 minutes. That's 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets per day. Your circadian rhythm? Wrecked. Your body has no idea when to sleep, eat, or mentally spiral, and artificial lighting only does so much. Some astronauts have to wear eye masks and pop melatonin like it's candy at a rave, just to simulate a bedtime. This messes with your mood, your memory, your alertness, basically your entire personality. You become a confused, sleep-deprived space goblin with the cognitive precision of someone who just pulled an all-nighter during finals week, every week. Your brain isn't malfunctioning, it's just been betrayed by physics. There's no gravity, no natural light cues, no sunrise telling your brain to wake up. Instead, your neurons are squinting at a fluorescent ceiling trying to figure out if it's 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. or just a simulation running on low battery. In short, space doesn't just break time, it breaks your relationship with time. Number 6. Touch-starved in the void. Here's a weird thing about space. No one touches you. Not in a creepy way, in a human way. No hugs, no handshakes, no casual shoulder pats. You are touch-starved, floating in a vacuum of sterile interactions and Velcro. Touch is a major part of emotional regulation. It releases oxytocin, lowers cortisol, reminds you that you're real. In space, that system shuts down. It's all gloves and helmets and awkward distance. You're basically a floating Roomba with a PhD. The longer astronauts go without physical touch, the more their stress and anxiety levels spike. It's like the emotional equivalent of scurvy. But instead of vitamin C, you're missing connection. NASA even studied using robot pets to fill the void. Yes, robot pets. Imagine being so emotionally parched you start bonding with a therapy drone. Welcome to Loneliness Cosmic Edition. And no, virtual calls don't help that much. You can't hug a screen. Even if you could, there's a 2-second delay and your mom is just frozen mid-sentence anyway. So yeah, space doesn't just make you lonely. It makes you physiologically starved for closeness. Your brain needs hugs. NASA gives you floating robots. Number 5. Your sense of smell betrays you. You know what space smells like? Burnt steak, welding fumes, hot metal. Basically, like something caught fire and someone sprayed Axe body spray over it to cover up the crime. This scent clings to spacesuits and airlocks after astronauts do a spacewalk. But here's the kicker, your sense of smell changes in space. Partly because your sinuses are flooded with fluid. Remember, gravity's gone, so your body distributes everything weirdly, but also because the recycled air gets so stale your olfactory system gives up. You know when you live with a weird smell for so long, you just stop noticing it? Now imagine that smell is a metallic gym sock floating gently into your face at breakfast. That's space. And because taste is tied to smell, food gets boring. Even spicier options taste like cardboard unless you douse them in hot sauce, which NASA astronauts do with cult-like obsession. It's the only way to trick their noses into cooperating. So yeah, your sense of smell in space? A deadbeat roommate that stopped paying rent and started microwaving tuna at 3 a.m. Number 4. The mirror betrayal. Imagine looking in this mirror and seeing a stranger with your name tag. Welcome to the Identity Crisis Spa, now orbiting 250 miles above Earth. Astronauts routinely report not recognizing their own faces in space. Why? Remember that delightful blood shift we talked about earlier, where all your bodily fluids rush upward like they're headed to a rave in your skull? Yeah, that happens constantly. Your face puffs up, your eyes get squishier, and your jawline goes MIA. So when you glance at your reflection, you're greeted by some bloated moon potato who vaguely resembles you, but like, if you were retaining 4 gallons of soup. It doesn't stop at appearance. Without familiar sounds, smells, gravity, or context, your brain starts losing track of who you are. Not in a dramatic, philosophical way, more like a slow-burning, why do I feel like a character in a video game kind of way. This is called depersonalization, and it's not rare. Your brain relies on environmental feedback to build your self-image, and when that feedback loop is interrupted, your identity becomes slippery. You're floating, physically and mentally. Number 3. The dream hacking effect. You fall asleep in space, finally, and then it starts. Bizarre, vivid, cinematic dreams that would make David Lynch go, okay, maybe tone it down. Space messes with your dreams. Astronauts report strange dream patterns, hallucinations, and emotional surges during REM sleep. Some see floating cats. Others report feeling like they're back on Earth only to wake up inside a floating tin coffin. It's like Inception, but with more Velcro. Why? A few reasons. First, altered melatonin levels from all that light-dark confusion. Second, increased CO2 in the cabin air can mess with your brain chemistry. Yes, really, the ISS has more carbon dioxide than Earth's atmosphere, and it's known to make people anxious, foggy, and weird. Also, your brain just really misses gravity, even in sleep. Some astronauts report dreaming of falling for hours. Others dream they're sinking into the floor, only to wake up and realize there is no floor, just a ceiling, and a wall, and a toilet somewhere on the wall. In short, your dreams in space become psychedelic art films directed by your subconscious on a caffeine bender. Number 2. Earth withdrawal syndrome. Ever missed something so much it physically hurt? Astronauts experience this with Earth. Hard. It's called the overview effect, and it sounds beautiful, seeing the Earth from orbit, this pale blue dot hanging in the void. But after the awe wears off, something weird happens. You get homesick, existentially, and your brain panics. No smells of grass, no wind, no animals, no weather, no randomness. Space is sterile, static, and artificial. Your brain starts to mourn the chaotic, sensory mess that is Earth. Astronauts even report crying during Earth-gazing sessions, not just because of emotion, but because the fluid can't drain from their eyes properly. So yeah, you're literally weeping into your helmet, feeling emotionally gut-punched by your own planet. Some astronauts say the silence of space gets so loud it feels like pressure in their skull. Others talk about being haunted by dreams of forests or thunderstorms or just dirt. Yes, dirt. Space makes people long for soil the way others pine for lost lovers. Basically, your brain develops a full-blown crush on the planet it used to ignore. Number 1. The reality filter shatters. Last but definitely most brain-melting, the way space annihilates your sense of what's real. Floating through a vacuum, watching continents scroll past like a Google Earth demo, realizing there's no up or down, this breaks your internal compass. Your brain is built to process reality with a floor and a sky. Take that away, and things get weird. Some astronauts describe an eerie sense of detachment, like they're watching themselves in third person. Others report mild hallucinations, flashes of light behind their eyelids from cosmic radiation, phantom voices, or objects moving that aren't really there. Why? Because your brain is constantly trying to simulate reality, even when reality has taken a lunch break. In deep space, it doesn't have the right data, so it just improvises badly. It's like your consciousness is running on spaghetti code and keeps glitching out. One moment you're fine, the next you're staring out a porthole wondering if you're still a person or just a meat puppet being puppeteered by math and momentum. Space doesn't just mess with your senses, it dissolves the filter between this is real and this is a really long panic dream, and somehow, you still have to fix the oxygen scrubber with a wrench the size of your leg. So yeah, before your bones break or your organs throw a tantrum, your brain will tap out first.